Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and we will be getting started with the broadcast very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and show our earthquakes on stream here. I just have to every time I stream, I have now started streaming to Twitch. Yay. But every time that I'm streaming, I forget to go look at the things that I'm supposed to be doing while I'm live on Twitch. So, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how do I look at myself on my stream? I'm active. I know I'm active right now. How do I do stuff on Twitch? Let's figure it out. Nope, I can't figure anything out. I'm gonna need to consult my friends on this one. I need to consult my friends. I need to figure out. I don't even know how to look at my own stream. Manage stream. There we go. That looks right. All right. This is riveting content. Let's see. Streamlabs. Add to my channel? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Twitch is so confusing. What even is Twitch? Why are we twitching? All right, let's get some people in the chat. I don't know how we're doing that, but let's get some people in the chat. I hit a stream record yesterday with 3 concurrent viewers, so let's just go ahead and hope that we get those going this time as well. All right, this is also an ASMR. Yes. Oh, my friend Wesley followed me. Yes. Now let's see, typing ASMR right now. Currently, I'm about to get into talking about the weather, but hello, viewers. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna watch this. I'm watching the chat through Streamlabs. So if you have any questions about the weather near you, I would love to give you a personalized view of what the weather's like near you. Currently, I've got Earthquake 3D up, so let's just go ahead and start with Earthquake 3D. Okay, and my date filter wants to mess up again. Here we go. Okay. Let's go back to date and then go back to day 1 day. Okay. Okay, in the last day, we have seen earthquakes here in Greece. I know we've seen a swarm of tremors in Campi Flegrei. Let me make sure is... I wonder is my I don't think that my cursor is showing up in my live Yeah, I'll figure that out. Usually my OBS captures the cursor as well, but there's no way for me to check that. There's truly no way to know. Okay. Let's see. We've got continued swarms of. There we go again. I swear I have Earthquake 3D Pro. Okay, we've got swarms here in Puerto Rico. We've got upper range 2s here in West Texas. That's near the drilling operations. We have a 4.1 in British Columbia or Vancouver area. That is going to be at 8 kilometers depth. 8 kilometers depth, magnitude 4.1 earthquake here in Canada. And we've also got a little string of earthquakes coming from the Yellowstone region. So you see we've got the 2.5 in the middle there and 2.6. And those were at 11 kilometers depth and 5 kilometers depth. So the one at 5 kilometers here was the southernmost. That was at 5:45 a.m. The other one was 5:03 a.m. So one right after the other, really, here in Utah and Montana. And then in between those, we've got some smaller earthquakes, 3s and 1s. Here we go. No, 2.5s. No, I was right. 1.2 and 1.5 here. Both north and right smack dab in between. So this is a good example of the Dutch sense method of predicting earthquakes as if they're standing waves inside of a wave tank. So that's a really exciting visual example. There's also quite a clear example of what drilling does to weaken the Earth's crust, and why, even though these if I zoom out, these look like there could be some pretty deep earthquakes in that stack, but there's also some shallow ones there. So you just never know. You just never know. You never know. I'm over here talking like Teleboy. You just never know. Okay, we got a 4.1. We got 4.7 and 4.9 out here in the Aleutian Islands. It's typical to have these like 3 and under quakes into Alaska's interior, but looks like things might be heating up. Let's take it above 2s. Yeah, we had a 4.1 and a 4.7 here. Looks like west of Anchorage, Alaska, and those were at 61 kilometers depth, so like medium deep. And well, this one's right near a lake. This one's right near the point of a lake. Okay, let's not get distracted. We already talked about that one. 4.7 out here in the middle of the Pacific, and this is along an undersea mount that extends from Russia's Bismani Peninsula up here to Hawaii. And this 4.7, again, seeing lots of 4.7s, was at 50 kilometers depth. That is the same depth as this 4.7 up here in the Aleutians. That one is at, what time was that? That was at 7:41 p.m. And this one was at 6:37 a.m. So this one came about 12 hours before. We've got 4.4 and 4.2 here in this chain of islands between, what's the name of that volcano here? There's that Russian volcano there. Kamchatka, Mount Kamchatka. So these are the islands leading up to the Siberian Peninsula where Mount Kamchatka is. And that is also leading off of, we've got just south of Japan, we have a 4.6, a pretty deep 4.6 at 390 kilometers depth. Then we have continued standing wave looking 4.7s, and our most recent quake was just now a 4.7 at 10 kilometers depth right here between the Philippines and Taiwan. Let's take it back. Yeah, right here between Philippines and Taiwan, there was our most recent quake, a 4.7. Okay, well, okay, this is... Sometimes Earthquake 3D gives me trouble, and I do not know why. Again, our breaking wave-shaped area sees continued deep fives. We also see fives spreading out along the border of the Antarctic and Indo-Australian plates. We've got a 5.1 and a 5.0, both at 10 kilometers depth. Again, I wonder what happens at 10 kilometers below the surface. I want to know what the hell's been going on 10 kilometers deep. Anyway, here we got a 5.5 in northern India. I believe this is also double stacked. When I double click on it, USGS says it's in western Xinjiang. But when I'm looking at it here with borders, it looks like that is in... Oh no, that is in western Xinjiang, China. Xinjiang, China. So gotta get my pronunciations on point. Got a little... Okay, if I could get this program to work, this update would be a lot better. And we're back to where we started. We had those 4s in Greece. Really, and most notable things today, I think, is that Antarctic 5s and a Mid-Atlantic Ridge 5. And, continued South American quakes. But that is... Well, and there's been a little dearth of Mexican and Central American quakes today. But that does not mean that there are none. So let's go ahead and talk about I pulled up the solar weather, but let's go ahead and talk about our volcanoes today. So hi, y'all. Hi, my 2 viewers. If you haven't, 2 viewers on Twitch. I don't know how many else I have on my other platforms. I'm also streaming on YouTube and Twitter. And you can comment. I'll chat. Hi. My name is Cloud. What's yours? I am a comprehensive weather recapper. I recap all the weather that happened today, including volcanoes and earthquakes and solar weather and planetary weather and all of that. So today, let's go ahead, and we've already checked our earthquakes. Let's go look at a map of what we got going on with our volcanoes. And let me see if I can resize this a little bit. No, I want to do the other way. There we go. Now you can't see me. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. Well, that's not. Okay. Okay. So we're looking at our volcanoes, our map of actively erupting volcanoes right now. If you're here for an ASMR type experience, you're probably getting a very good one. This is my close talking voice. I have a Bigfoot Behringer Bigfoot mic, USB mic. I really like being over mic'd. I think it lends a little bit of intimacy and a little something special to my stream. So glad you're here. I have been streaming since every day since the beginning of the year, but this is only my second day also streaming to Twitch. I didn't think gamers would be into my chill, mellow, dulcet tones of murmuring about the weather, but here we are. Apparently, some of you like it. So volcanoes today, April 14th. This is set at UTC time, so it's been April 14th for a while there. Let's take a look, recapping what happened on the 13th. All right, so our continued headline has been the eruption from the Reykjanes Peninsula in Iceland. Activity in the eruption site resumes. This is a view of the one and only. Remember, I love how the Icelandic Met Office has been calling the last crater the one and only protagonist left in the eruption. I think it's just so fun and dramatic how they personify the volcano craters. Okay, so here we go. The one and only main crater continues to generate the constant spattering of incandescent juvenile and molten pyroclasts from where feeds the lava flow in the south. Well, that's not. From which feeds the lava flow in the southern direction. The lava has been thickening in the vicinity of the crater rather than advancing further. So it's just chunking up right there at the crater, making a big, thick, honking, juicy spatter cone. The ground deformation at Svartsengi region continues at well-balanced levels, but in early April, it increased a bit, comparable to the 16th through the 31st of March period. It indicates continuous accumulation of the magma beneath the region, causing elevated pressure. The IMO added, that's Icelandic Meteorological Office, added, during the eruption, however, there is still an open connection between the magma collection area in Svartsengi and the Sundnúks crater series, and part of the magma flows to the surface there. Variations in the land mass can be seen between days, but overall the speed has been constant since the beginning of April. Gas pollution from the eruption continues to pose a risk in the polluted Reykjanes, in the populated Reykjanes Peninsula area. Residents are urged to monitor air quality and understand how to respond to volcanic air pollution. So that is the big risk right now. We're not at risk of this lava sneaking up on people. It's just it's really this off-gassing, and they have had issues with moss fires in the past as well, but it doesn't look like that's a big thing they're talking about. Mount Ibeco here is, well, it's kind of hard to see. Not really seeing much eruptive activity from the satellite image. Explosive activity continues at Mount Ibu in Indonesia. Lewitobi continues to erupt. There's both volcanic ash plumes and active flows, active lava flows. Ducono continues to explode. Santiaguito in Guatemala continues its explosive volcanic activity. Mount Fuego continues to explode, also in Guatemala. Interesting that we haven't seen too many large or notable earthquakes out of Guatemala today. In Colombia, The Nevado del Ruiz volcano is continuing to explode, as well as Shanghai down in Ecuador. We've also got, they haven't included Fernandina, which is also in Ecuador, but the last time I checked, Fernandina was actively erupting and had a lava flow going into the ocean right now. So I'm like, how is that not on our little update every day? I want to know more about the lava flowing into the ocean. Samancaya continues to explode down there in Peru. And here is an update from Ethiopia. The Danakil Depression, Ale, whatever. A month after recent lava overflow in the southern pit crater, a new batch of lava has arrived in the northern pit crater this time. The elevated activity has been identified in the latest Sentinel-2 satellite imagery from April 12th, revealing a strong glow in the near-infrared composite region. This signals a new flux of magma rising through the dike system towards the Hornito. The lava is spreading towards the western, northern, and eastern crater rims. And so just to remember, this is an area in Ethiopia that is a continental rift, the East African rift. This is one of the only spreading zones in continental crust on the earth right now. I think it's the only one, maybe. Not sure if some islands count, but this is the only, like, for sure, well into a continental crust that has a rift zone going on. So it's really exciting to see this have active magma flow again. New batches of lava in Ethiopia. It's like it's like Christmas for us geo nerds. And new emissions detected from Santiaguito. We won't get into the 14th updates until it's the actual 14th. All right, so let's go now to, let's take a look at, let's look at our radar. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at our radar. Am I able to see? Oh, I got distracted on Twitch again. I don't know how I got distracted. I get distracted all the time. I guess I can't watch myself while I'm live. That's weird. That's a weird feature. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about our radar Omega that we got here. So up in the Great Lakes, we've got this system of low pressure moving through here, causing some lake-fed precipitation. I won't call it lake effect snow because it's not really what's happening here. We've got the lakes sustaining already existing precipitation, so that's not going to count as lake effect. Do y'all, by the way, do you like my hair? It is inspired by the Doppler radar colors there. I don't know. I did it myself. I do my hair myself. I do have a YouTube video coming out soon about that. Okay, so only one special weather statement in the area for up to Green Bay, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, and hail up to 1/2 inch. Not looking like anywhere is at risk of any severe storms right now, though. Just some decent rain from mostly in the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Toronto area. Yeah, it's all coming off these lakes here. We do have a rogue supercell out here on the border of Iowa and Minnesota. So that's interesting. I'm sure people south of Rochester, Minnesota are waking up to like, what? I didn't think it was raining. We have a elevated risk of fire out here in the plains and New Mexico and Colorado. And of course, we've got our juicy new low stationed off the coast of San Francisco right now. And it's really weird. I feel like lately this year we've seen the atmospheric river effect really drag down. Usually we see a lot of lows up in the Seattle, Portland, Vancouver area here. That's where you usually see them roll into the West Coast. But like, since we've gotten so much tropical moisture tracked into California, I feel like we've seen that kind of magnetize and pull down the lows that are usually in the Pacific Northwest to be right off the coast of California right now. So that's a really interesting phenomenon to me. The way that atmospheric rivers are kind of pulling centers of precipitation in different directions. Right now, all it's doing is sit and spin, like that childhood toy. It's just sitting and spinning. It's just sitting and spinning right off this coast. But soon after, there's a bit of a ridge forming. This is going to laminate into a really nice setup for severe weather. So Monday, we are going to have quite the weather to talk about. But for this weekend, just got a sleepy, rainy Saturday evening, but clear skies for most of the area. Actually, speaking of clear skies, I want to talk about I'm going to go back to our browser so that we can talk about oops, I got so many different things up. I want to look at satellite. Let's take a look at GOES. Okay, yeah, you can really see. Well, if I was at west, you'd be able to see this new low better. But this is where you can kind of see. Yesterday, I talked about the swirling, funneling in the high, the ridge that's forming over Texas right now. You can see how on the lower levels, it's scooping up. Remember, yellow's the lowest level, cyan is the middle level, and red is the upper level winds. And these are wind barbs. And that is not a way to say fans of Nicki Minaj. This is wind barbs as in barbed wire. Okay, so, and the flags on the little arrows indicate how strong the wind is. They're like, the triangles mean 4, and then there's half notches, and they're all in knots. So like 5 knots, 10 knots, and like 30 knots, I believe. Either way, does it have a key on here? No, it doesn't. Oh, I just remember that from meteorology courses. But anyway, so the ones with little triangles are even more. Anyway, it's like a tally of how many nautical miles the wind is going. What I meant to say was, why I started talking about this was the yellow is going very contrary what the red is going here in the Gulf of Mexico. And so we're getting this motion. And that circular motion vertically, it's like a little convective cell that also, when you get convection going like this on a small scale, you also get through motion. And depending on the handedness of the and like where the rotation is, you can picture which direction the angular momentum is going. So here you can see that the angular momentum would be shooting air up from the Gulf of Mexico into Texas. And this is the area where they're getting that fire warning, because they're getting a lot of air movement, but not a lot of moisture. The fire hose of moisture here has been pretty exhausted by creating this system, which is just now leaving the Northeast. And then what's going on up here in the Great Lakes is actually kind of the tail end of that. It's getting a different part of, like, more of the polar jet effect than down here. We're getting some subtropical jet going on. Anyway, it'll be really pretty to see. So what I'm trying to say about this is, not only are there spirals when you're looking down at the Earth, there are also spirals when you're standing at the Earth looking like this. The air moves in pockets like this, as well as swirling around a spot. So that's my little explanation on that for you guys. Yeah. So yeah, here we go. That's our weather. Let's now look at I wanted to look at our global weather before we go on to our solar weather. Let's see. So yeah, you can see this is kind of coming in from really the poles. We've got quite a bit of, let's see, still getting rain here in Oman to southeastern Saudi Arabia, and all throughout Pakistan. Karachi's getting soaked right now, all the way up to Islamabad. There's a lot of precipitation moving in, and that's kind of typical of the season, I believe. We've also got rainfall in, well, not exactly rainfall, but we've got some nice cumulus clouds over Libya. That's definitely something that looks like it could produce. And did you know that Libya used to be a lush garden area? Things change. They could change again. Got some rainfall around Turkey as well. And of course over Eastern Europe and Russia. Let's take a look at Russia. Speaking of Russia, let's stay on one thing at a time. Looks like Tropical Cyclone Paul is not doing too hot, but not going away here in Australia. And remember, these are the areas where we had those 5.0 and 5.1 earthquakes today. So that's pretty interesting to see the earthquakes centered right here where we have some ridges and troughs. And And as you can see, this is the sunlight tracking across the Earth. Yeah. Sometimes you can even see the sun's reflection in the surface of the water. It's really cool. At both right above and at 21 degrees, I believe, away from it. But yeah, you see this beautiful cyclone cyclonic activity off the coast of California. That's a gorgeous view. Let's take a look now at the Schumann resonances. So as we're going up through the gradient, we're doing we started at earthquakes and volcanoes, then we go to the atmosphere, and then we go to the relationship between the Earth's surface and the Earth's atmosphere, which is the Schumann resonances. The Schumann resonances are like the heartbeat of the Earth, but they're also, wow, look at that. Look at all the bass boosted. The Schumann resonances really popped off today. Even if this is related to weather, you wouldn't see this much variation if this was all weather. That's gorgeous. That's impressive. Today was quite a magical day, I believe. This is sometimes there's discharging from the ionosphere into the atmosphere, and sometimes there's discharging from the atmosphere into the Earth, and sometimes there is resonance between what's happening below the Earth's surface and what's happening in the ionosphere, and that facilitates some charge dissipation. Basically, it's like rain, but electrically, but also it's literally lightning. Literally, this happens through the facilitation of lightning. Earth and Earth's atmosphere is a big capacitor, like a big charge separator. And just like those staticky electro balls, I wish I had one of those, where you put your fingers on the glass and you can trace the thing. There's constantly charge filtering back and forth between the atmosphere and the ground. And the Schumann resonances are this extremely low frequency sonogram. That's what ELF sonogram means, is a record of how much energy is getting discharged between those two spheres, and at what rate, at what frequency those different amounts of power are happening. So it's really hard to explain without, like, this orange peel. There's different frequencies of curves that make up the weird curviness of the orange peel. This shows the weighting of which you have to like give different amounts of right and left and up and down at different points in time to create the whole shape. What the Schumann resonances are is kind of like an expansion, like a Fourier transform, where you pull out every single wave, every single frequency possible, and see how much power was put into each bin of frequency. in order to make up the shape of the global power exchange today. So this is, I got to get better at explaining this, but basically this is the vibes. this is the measure of vibes. These frequencies are also the same frequencies that human brainwaves are. There's 4 different modes we look at, and they roughly correspond to like alpha, beta, high beta or gamma, and delta waves. And they're, when you see this is a big, powerful download. This is a big download. Everyone is leveling up. Everyone is getting in their frequency, getting in their zone, honing in, downloading. There's been a dearth of space weather for a while, for like a few days. Well, for a week really. And it started to pick back up yesterday. And this feels like all of the charge in the radiation belts have been precipitating downwards and really sinking into Earth. And whatever we got, whatever we felt from the eclipse is downloading, processing. We're chewing on it. We're getting to know things. So it's really nice to feel validated by seeing such powerful confirmations. That's wow. I'm glad we checked our Schumann resonances today. Let's check which frequencies. Okay. So, our mode 1 ended pretty high today. It looks like all of these took a big jump up at 22 and 22 UTC plus 7 and have ended on a bit of a high note here. But we're back at like what the 7.8-ish is the average for mode 1. Mode 2 sits about 14 usually, so it's a little low, but it's right in the middle of where that's actually a little lower than it's been. Actually, yeah, I'd say mode 1 is creeping up, but mode 2, 3, and 4 are scooching down into their lower expressions. So interesting there. I guess our alpha waves, our collective alpha brain waves are. You could also think of this as if you think of every human on the planet as a neuron in a brain. The Schumann resonances are the brainwave frequencies of the collective brain. So this is what our nodes are doing together. We're really boosting our alpha right now. Amplitudes will show us how much power was behind all of this. And yeah, that's what that big burst is today. You see a lot of power came in. I mean, yesterday I was talking about this little spike. Today we're talking about, looks like mode 4 precipitated this. Mode 4 spiked and then the others. So that's interesting. You can both induce resonance from having something low and getting overtones, and you can induce resonance by having something high and letting the lower tones find their intonation, which is what I think happened here. These are like chords being struck, like. So we have like. So if I'm saying that 4 is this higher one, this graph looks like. like my kalimba? Okay, so that's basically what this means. I just explained it in music, and if you don't get it, sorry. Let's see. Let's go now that we've talked about the Schumann resonances enough. Let's take a look at the cosmic waves that drive that. So yesterday we had several coronal mass ejections. Looks like we didn't have too many on the 13th. Looking pretty shallow, a little shy, but I'm sure that we had something noteworthy today. No, we've only got alpha and beta type sunspot regions. We've got some new players, some new major solar flare players rotating into Earth view, but for now we don't have these bright regions facing us. We don't even have a coronal hole. We really just have kind of a set of boring solar conditions. But look at this big, I don't know if that counts as a prominence. Looks like this is getting ready to do something. That's what I mean. It's 3628 connected to something else. It looks like that wants to. So let's see. That one's censored. It's got its stick out right now. You can't look at that. Okay. Solar protons look pretty minor. We had an M4.3, and it was from right here, and that went along with a minor R1 radio blackout. Also a M2.4 with its own radio blackout. So let's look at the solar flares. And this is the flux of X-rays. So we had a C that was almost into the M range, and we had today at 5 UTC a M class flare that got us up into the R1 radio blackout range, and a very recently like 2:30 UTC on April 14th so like honestly, when I got home and started broadcasting, not when I started broadcasting, but when I like got home to sit down and do this, we had a 4.3 that became its own radio blackout. So let's take a look at what that looked like on solar imagery. That's our current magnetogram showing the warm and cool colors are the positive and negative charges. Let's see. Let's take a look at the video. Let's take a look at the video of today's sun over the past 48 hours, and we can keep an eye on this region for those M flares. It's also been spitting out quite a few C-class flares. Yeah, kind of hard to see. But these bright regions are going to be really fun. Let's see again. I think this is the area that wants to, and it's probably going to have a coronal mass ejection right as it gets away from us. I don't know why the imagery is being so janky right there. Let's look at Soho to see that the LASCO images of the corona, because that's what's looking fun. Looks like, and remember, all these are all coronal mass ejections and such. All these sparkly bits, that is radiation particles. Okay, there was a good one, and I think that's the one that got modeled yesterday. Looks like at the end of this, though, I'm waiting for this to beef up. Oh, yeah, there's one in progress. There is a coronal mass ejection in progress. That is absolutely what that is. Let's take more look at this. There's nice ones, and most of these are coming from the far side of the sun. Yeah, that was yesterday's good one, or 2 days ago. There was a good one. Actually, no, yesterday's. And then There's one in progress right now. From here. Yeah. Guys, we're watching it happen. We are watching it happen live with me on today's weather tonight. Thanks everybody for being here, by the way. Nobody's here. Well, one person is here, and I love you for that. Thank you so much. Hey, if I got one viewer, I got one viewer. That's okay. What am I doing? Oh, we're going back here. Now let's look at our current planets. Let's look at the planetary weather right now. So we are in a sun day, in a sun hour. I guess I didn't broadcast on the Saturn day. Sunday, sun hour, we've got our moon in Cancer at 6 degrees, moving into a square with Venus in Aries at 11 degrees. Man, she really booked it. Venus really sped up. I mean, I swear last night she was at 8 degrees and now she's at 11 degrees. That's conjunct this is moving to conjoin my natal Aries Venus at 12 degrees. So of course, I had to look cute today. That's what having a Venus conjunct Venus means. Venus return means, and it's in my 6th house, and it's a 6th house perfection here. So I guess a good look for me is sober. I don't know. Let's see. Really, it looks like most things are moving in aspect to Black Moon Lilith. If I took those aspects off, we wouldn't have much going on except for the ever-tightening conjunction between Uranus and Jupiter. And I am very optimistic about what this is going to mean for geopolitics. Not optimistic as in, false hope, but I have seen some things that give me hope recently in international conflicts. I've seen some solidarity. I've seen people showing up for people. I've seen community in action. I've seen a lot of good things. And I am very hopefully convinced that this Jupiter conjunct Uranus is going to mean something really, really good for people. This conjunction completes itself next week on the 20th. I can't believe it's already April 20th next week. Oh my goodness. We've got the sun finishing up whoever you want to say, sun finishing up its time in Aries in the last decade now. And Mercury in retrograde is just about to conjoin Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries. It's at 20 degrees of Aries right now, and Chiron is the wounded healer archetype, and Aries is the baby, but also the head and the mind, the ego, the self, the first idea, first place, that kind of thing. Blue ribbon. It's really... Yeah, I'm very optimistic about what this means for everybody's healing journey to have a Mercury retrograde conjunct Chiron. I think we need to do some ego death and some ego healing, and this will be really good for that. I think that's all I want to say about the planetary weather right now. Okay. I'm going to now transition into the final way that I tell you the weather, which is a vibe check for the universe, basically. Gonna take off my little hat because I need to have my thinking downloading cap on, because we are going to use the cards to tell us the cosmic weather. We are going to get a reading on what the cosmos say. And this is my selenite that I use to... I just think that each deck of cards needs a little rock friend, you know? So this is the little rock friend for the first deck I'm going to use. I think it looks like nature's fiber optics. Do you see how it carries light like that? That flash? If you look straight down it, if you were able to look at it if I had a better camera that would focus on it, you'd be able to see that this is good fiber optic-y texture. Okay. These are a little loud to shuffle, so I just like to cut. Well, I guess I'll shuffle them, see if they can whisper. All right, Cosmos. What is the cosmic weather? What is all that Schumann resonance coming in? What is all this? What is the meaning of this newest coronal mass ejection from the sun? All right. So for this one, we've gotten... I can always reach for a thought that feels better. I can always reach for a thought that feels better. And that one on the back says, it's a brown hand reaching up in front of a cloud with both a sun and a moon and stars depicted. It says, your decision to reach for a thought that feels good is a powerful decision, for it serves you in many ways. The better feeling thought reverberates within you, opening passageways to well-being that reach far beyond this one good feeling thought. So the act of reaching for that good feeling thought creates the channel of the action of reaching for a good feeling thought. It reverberates within you, opening passageways to well-being that reach far beyond this one good feeling thought. This is stretching the muscle and flexing it and reaching for the good thing, acting as if it's already there when it's not there yet. You gotta put your foot down on the next step to see if it's there. I don't know. I can always reach for a thought that feels better. There is always a way to reframe it. It sounds very DBT to me. Very dialectical behavioral therapy to me. It's how it sounds to be like, I can always reach for a thought that feels better. There's always a way to frame things that is slightly more positive. just a little bit. Oh yeah, you guys like my cloud tattoo? This is my name tag. I actually, yeah, this is a kind of a rough bedroom cloud tattoo, but I love it. It's about a year old now. Um, yeah, I actually got it last year when Venus was conjunct my natal Venus. So this is the Venus return of this tattoo. Fun fact. All right, and then this one, my tarot deck, I like to keep with some raw labradorite. That's what this looks like up close. See that nice flashy labby. Yeah, that nice labradorite flash. That's good. That's good. It's like a little mermaid scale stone. I love the sound of these. I love having a nice little mic because tapping rocks just sounds so good on them. I could make the whole stream just me sitting here picking up rocks and tapping on them. Okay. Looks like we got a jumper already. The Knight of Cups, upright. The Knight of Cups, upright. So he is bearing the cup. He is the messenger. He is the action. The Knight is the little action guy, the little action figure guy out of the suits, out of the royals of the suits. He's got a bunch of fishies. He's got a bunch of little fishies on his robe there. And he's got a horse that seems to be more in a prance formation than in an active running formation. Almost as if to say, I'm holding the potential possibility that I could have emotions, but it's in contrast with seeing a knight as somebody who's more action oriented. This is giving male cancer, not ball cancer, but like this is giving a man who's a water sign. This is giving a man. Well, yesterday we had the Queen of Cups. The last tarot card I pulled was Queen of Cups. This is feeling very like a masculine feminine duality energy, something where your emotions are definitely fueling your actions, but you're not rushing into things quite like the Knight of Swords does. I can always reach for a better thought in combination with the Knight of Cups. Maybe we're pausing and reflecting and seeing if our instincts for battle are warranted. I gotta sit with this. I think I'm going to have more to say once he's got little wings on his head and his feet, so he could be rushing, but he's not. He's sitting and feeling. Oh, that's it. The Knight of Cups is sitting and feeling his emotions, and that's all the action that is needed sometimes, is just sitting and processing your damn emotions. Just sit and feel your dang feelings. That's why you have them. You need to feel the feelings. They're all data. Your body is a weather instrument, and you need to take the data sometimes. All right. That's what I'm getting from that guy today. And let's finish it out with the trifecta of liminal space deck. This one, I like to charge up the liminal space with all the good expansiveness. So I've got this ocean jasper on it that reminds me of the planet Jupiter. Yeah. Jupiter looking ocean jasper. This is a piece of ocean jasper that was gifted to me by my therapist when she left the city in order to become a van lifer, because she said I didn't need her anymore. Well, I needed her, but I just had to get a new therapist. And sometimes that happens. Your therapist goes on their own awakening, and you're just like, okay, I guess that's what I'm dealing with now. Yeah. Miss you, Doreen. Hope you're well out there. Okay. Oh yes, and I'm wearing my bolo tie because I was at a cowboy themed queer king dance night earlier. It was lovely to see so many friends, so much community, people being gay, happy out there. It's very sweet. So we're just going to get a card from the liminal space deck in order to complete our Knight of Cups, and I can always reach for a thought that feels better message from the cosmos. This isn't just a message. This is a cosmic weather reading. This is what the weather is on the cosmic scale, beyond the planets, beyond what we can see with our current telescopes and satellites, beyond any space probes. What is the weather out there? All right. An offering. It's very good texture. An offering. This is interesting because a squirrel's nest fell out of a tree behind my house today, and I always wonder when things of the natural world just appear in the morning, like what does that mean? What is this offering from the forest? 'Cause I do live right next to a forest. It's also looks like it's coming out of a portal that looks like the back of the cards. These are that nice playing card quality. Okay. Let's look at what it says for an offering. This is the only one that I have a little guidebook with. That's kind of fun. One of them has the interpretations on the back. One of them I get interpretations from Ether. And one of these has a little booklet. It's in alphabetical order, but sometimes it picks random words to make the alphabet. Oh, okay. An offering simply says, if you're looking for a sign, this is it. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Sit and feel your emotions. Be the Knight of Cups. Look up the Knight of Cups. And think, I can always reach for a thought that feels better. Can you sit and observe your emotions and your feelings and also see all the different angles of them? If you're looking for a sign to get into dialectical behavioral therapy, if you're looking for a sign to go to therapy, this is it. If you're looking for a sign to follow today's weather tonight, this is it. If you are looking for a sign that you are the Knight of Cups, this is it. You are the Knight of Cups. You are the knight that knows the holding, the offering, the holding space. Divinity. Okay. So, with that, I will leave y'all for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow evening, roughly around 10 o'clock. I put that on my Twitch streaming schedule as like a guideline, maybe roughly around 10, probably. But yeah, this was a lovely stream. I'm going to try to visualize having more of you here. Last night I visualized having a lot of people here and they came right as I was ending. So it'll be nice to call in more people and create a community. But until then, I've been Cloud Hudson, and thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Good night.